I'll tell you, the guys at Global Data Vault, from the president all the way down to their technical people, they're committed to the customer, 110% committed to the customer, to their success. I've personally had the experience of receiving a phone call on a Friday night from a customer. Well, if you receive a phone call on a Friday night from a customer, it's probably not going to be a good call. And sure enough, they had lost their Exchange server. It was a municipality that went down, police department, first responders. And in a situation where the first responders are not getting their communications, that can mean the difference sometimes in life and death. At that point, I said, look, let me get Brian on the phone with Global Data Vault. The recovery happened immediately, and they had the server rebuilt and restored within 2 hours. That is very impressive.
When we switched to Global Data Vault, that's when we really came into a real disaster recovery solution. We've got 30 servers running in our server environment. Over 3 million transactions a year. And a tornado came over Fenton, Missouri, which is outside of St. Louis. It's a 150,000 square foot warehouse, and actually caused such a vacuum that it pulled in the walls of the offices towards the center of the building. And we lost the computer room at that point, and that's when I called Global Data Vault. Probably within 2 hours, they had all 4 of their servers spun up in a virtual environment that they could get to their data. That's pretty quick. Your backup window's over. You virtually have 24/7 access to all your files.
One of the taglines that I use is, backup is great, but recovery is what really matters. And before you can recover, you have to test to make sure that you can recover. Quarterly testing is where I can contact Global Data Vault every quarter, once a quarter, and do a free test disaster recovery. And the nice thing about Global Data Vault's recovery process is they do a complete build out of my infrastructure in their data center. So I don't have to spin the VMs up myself. They do that for me. I don't have to prepare the network. They do that for me. In a disaster recovery scenario, a lot of the legwork that some providers would require guys like me to do, that's done by GDV, so that when a disaster does strike, you know that you're ready for it. Especially in today's environment with all the security threats that are there, both internally and externally, if you don't have a full disaster recovery solution in place, you're really cheating your customer.